I'm not a constituent, but
That's okay. Yeah.
I'm Julie, so I'm in between. This is closer actually. Yeah, she was. I want to have my back.
I'm in Dallas, so I'm also an interloper here. We can all kind of crowd in a little bit. Unless you struggle hearing me at any point. But for right now, we're all gathered here today because the current federal government has been putting the interests of oil and gas corporations above the interests of the people. They are gutting climate policies, enabling mega projects to bypass key environmental regulations and subsidizing the same big oil billionaires who are reaping record profits at our expense. The Alberta MOU is the final nail in the coffin for Canada's climate policy and paves the way for another toxic tar sands pipeline. The fossil fuel lobby is lying to us by claiming that more oil and gas extraction somehow serves our national interest. But their destructive agenda threatens the health of our communities, the survival of our wildlife, and the future of our planet, all while costing us billions of dollars and tying our economy to a volatile and exploitative industry. Enough fast-tracking destruction. Ahead of the July 1st deadline for Alberta's pipeline proposal, we are calling on members of Parliament and MP Karim Bardeesy to sign a new Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU with the people. Woo! Thank you so much everyone for gathering here today to take a stand and take nationwide action. We have over 40 different ridings taking action with their MPs right now, and this will send a powerful nationwide message that this is not what the people want. And now I'm really grateful to have some amazing collaborators, and I'll give some time to the Youth Climate Corps to say a couple of words.
Yeah. And hooray for youth leadership.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, wait, I'll take this.
And how it's connected to this. I just kind of remind, like this week we've seen a lot of heat waves in the media, like that are ravaging our world, and summer has barely begun. In France, temperature hit 45 degrees. In India, 43 degrees, like claiming tens of thousands of lives. And here in Canada, we just marked 5 years since the deadly BC heat dome that took the life of 600 people. And if you've seen maybe the hydration breaks at FIFA, this is all climate change, and it's happening now, like right now. By 2050, scientists predict 50 degrees could become the norm in summer. And back in 2019, I remember having a sign saying, we only have 12 years to avoid climate change. And 6 years later, not much has been done. Instead, our government is reversing progress. Decades of the government knowing about this with no concrete action. Today with the Youth Climate Corps, there's like some volunteers here who are part of the Youth Climate Corps campaign. We're a movement of young people and allies that are fighting for good green jobs and livable planets. And through grassroots organizing and diverse voices, we've turned rage into hope. We've won. We've pressured the government to include and commit a tiny amount of 40 million pilot program in the budget 2025, and a program that would make young people like me to be paid and to be part of the solution to the climate crisis. Retraining and meaningful jobs in climate mitigation, adaptation, and emergency response. A program that centers Indigenous and marginalized youth who are the most vulnerable and impacted by climate change. But yet again, the government has broken its promises. They've signed this program as an actual nation. This is an actual nation-building program solution that could tackle both rising youth unemployment and the climate crisis. But they would want to fund arms, pipelines, and AI. So I asked Karim Bardeesy, you claim to be a climate advocate. How about you tell Mark Carney, where is the Youth Climate Corps you promised us rather than a pipeline? The program that Carney flaunted as his climate commitment, his commitment to investment in youth, is nowhere to be found. A program that would actually diversify our market, make Canada an energy superpower, or build a stronger, more sustainable, more competitive economy. But pipelines are the economy, actually. I see Karim Bardeesy rather hear the economic argument. Fine. And actually, climate will cost us $100 billion annually by 2050. Our losses could reach up to 2.9 million by the end of the century. Is that an economic opportunity? While climate change is already killing people, the oil industry doesn't just profit from climate death, it profits from war. Here in Canada, the oil industry could make 90 billion and more in a year from the war in Iran. 60% is American owned. And nothing back to the community. Is this an economic opportunity? 12 billion of our money a year goes to subsidies in the oil and gas industry. Just 10% of that could fund 20,000 youth in green jobs. The more we fund fossil fuels, the less jobs, the government revenues. That is not economic action. It's economic sanity. We have solutions. More than facts and numbers, and economic opportunity, or our government is working for corporations and billionaires rather than people. They're now passing laws out loud with this ones I would never say. They profit from our struggles. They put pipelines out. They exploit us and the climate for corporations to get immense profit. So rather than we have climate solutions. So today, if this is an action towards Karim Bardeesy and pressuring him to sign this MOU. And if I could ask each and one of you, introducing each other, get to know someone next to you you didn't know here, because to share your story, because why you're here, because the opportunity and value of community, power, and getting to know and organize with each other is the most meaningful action you can do for our planet, to liberate ourselves from this colonial system. Finally, I would do a little chants. Free
Youth Climate Corps. They're extremely powerful, and it's necessary to build community throughout this, understanding each other's motivations and why we stand here, demanding for a better MOU, the people's MOU. Yeah. All right, I will now lead us with a couple of more chants. And so we're going to chant these as well while we're trying to deliver. I have no idea if they're there. It seems like an appointment only type of thing. We did contact them, but we will see. All right.
They never respond.
They never respond.
Anybody knock on
They'll come to the door, man.
Okay, we want the knock on the door.
I think we asked for a 4:30 meeting. Is that?
Yeah. So in the meantime, we'll chant and we'll be heard. So, oil, the safety of our communities, the well-being of our ecosystems, and the future of our planet. And we urge you, as a representative of the government of Canada, to commit to stop fast-tracking destruction, abandon the dangerous recent proposal that exempts mega projects from safety and environmental regulations. We demand that you protect our communities and the land, uphold Indigenous rights, environmental protections, and ensure meaningful consultations with impacted communities. We demand that you stop building climate-burning pipelines, reject the proposed toxic tar sands pipeline from Alberta to the Pacific coast, and end all new oil, coal, and gas extraction in Canada. We demand that you accelerate the energy transition and deliver a strong climate action plan and launch a roadmap to phase out fossil fuels while supporting workers and communities. We demand that you stop letting big oil profit at our expense and impose a 75% excess profits tax on the wartime windfall of fossil fuel companies and end subsidies for the fossil fuel industry. We demand that you fund our future, invest in the east-west-north electricity grids that bring affordable, renewable energy to all, while uplifting Indigenous leadership and creating tens of thousands of good green jobs. So stop capitulating to the interests of of greedy big oil billionaires and put the people first. No worries. We urge you to sign this deal with your constituents and commit to protecting our communities, our climate, and our future.
What do we want?
People.
Yes.
Right to his doorstep. It would be so easy to just open that door and come talk to his constituents about what we want him to be doing as our representative. But unfortunately, he seems to have other priorities. Woo! But we're not going to stop. We're going to keep taking action. We're going to keep telling our MPs what we need from them. You enter this URL, win.numo.net/MOU, then we have a easy digital action that you can take. You'll put in your postal code and it'll allow you to deliver this beautiful People's MOU to your MP, whether that's Karim or one of his other colleagues here in Toronto. They all need to hear from us, so let's all do this. Take a minute right now, we'll all do it together. Feel free to personalize the email. You can say, Karim, I came to your door.
Yeah.
Why didn't you open for us? This is one of 40 actions, as Christina said, happening across the country. And now that everybody has access to this tool, I know that there are thousands of people across the country taking action and delivering this MOU to their MPs. This is a moment that Liberals especially need to hear from us more than ever. There are already cracks forming in Carney's caucus around climate. As people probably saw, Stephen Guilbeault has left politics altogether because he's so appalled by the Alberta MOU, which is saying something because he was the minister under Trudeau for many years when the Trudeau government also bought a pipeline.
He should become a socialist.
He sure should, yeah, he sure should.
Apparently even the majority of liberals.
The majority of Albertans don't actually support public money going towards pipelines. And this is not what Carney ran on, right? It was Poilievre who was saying he wanted to build pipelines everywhere, and Carney kind of coasted on the Liberals' climate track record, and then they've been backsliding ever since. So it's really important that the Liberals hear from us right now and know that there is actually mass public opposition to more fossil fuel expansion and more capitulating to the oil lobby. Has everyone done it? Put your hand up if you have taken the thing and sent it to your email. That's not enough of you. Do it when I get home. You know, get your neighbors to do it too. The more they hear from us, the better. The power of this action is that it's happening collectively across the country. So it's not just us here on this sidewalk. It's communities across the country taking action. And this is just the beginning. We're trying to really rebuild the climate movement. I know things have been slow for the last couple of years, but now more than ever, our government needs to be hearing from us. And the future is really at stake. Thank you all for coming out. MP, come out! We're going to stick this MOU onto their office.
Yeah, we That's right.
And we put it physically in their mailbox too.
Yeah.
Okay, I have some tape. I have taped up the.
Put it on their door so they need to open.
His office and will continue to pressure nationwide for a people's MOU to stop fast-tracking destruction. Before we leave, okay?